So the other construction material that we also have a design code is the timber material. For bridge structures or structural components constructed out of timber, designer can refer to the Timber Construction Manual published by the American Institute of Timber Construction or AITC and the National Design Specification for Wood Construction issued by the American Wood Council or AWC. So whenever we use timber as our construction material for our bridge structures, we can refer to this two codes: the Timber Construction Manual and the NDS, National Design Specification for Wood Construction. In the Philippines, our local code, the NSCP 2015, if you will refer to chapter uh, I believe chapter 6 of our NSCP 2015. You can see there that that chapter is all about wood or timber. So that particular part of our local code is actually referred to NDS 2015 edition. So we have adopted the specifications provided by NDS, National Design Specification for Wood Construction 2015 edition, for our local code NSCP 2015. Although some countries also refer to Timber Construction Manual made by American Institute of Timber Construction. I don't know if this is the latest edition, the fourth edition. So you can just check that out if this is the latest edition of the Timber Construction Manual. But overall, we usually use this design standard as well as this design standard whenever we use timber as our material in our bridge structures. So those are the different material-related design codes that we can refer to whenever we use a particular engineering material such as steel, concrete, prestressed concrete, timber, and other construction material. Although it is important to note that although these manuals offer information specific to various design materials, the AASHTO specifications still provides its own interpretation and guidelines for the use of the material in highway bridge structures. Normally, AASHTO specifications adopt the same design philosophies as those manuals. The AASHTO code, however, takes a more conservative approach, so it may not necessarily use the identical equations as in other material design manuals. So as you can see, although we have these different material related design codes for steel, for concrete or prestressed concrete or timber, uh, we have to be clear that AASHTO specifications still has its own interpretation and guidelines for the use of the different set of material that are usually used in highway bridge structures. So meaning we must always refer to AASHTO specifications instead of those different material related design codes whenever we design highway bridge structures. Although you don't have to worry because AASHTO specifications usually adopts those different material related design codes that are related to steel, concrete, prestressed concrete, or timber materials. So AASHTO specifications usually adopt those same design philosophies as those different manuals for different engineering materials. Although AASHTO code, however, takes a more conservative approach so that it can have its own approach whenever we deal with designing, so that it will not have an identical equation with those design manuals that we have enumerated here. One must keep in mind that these material-related codes deal mostly with building structural design. Therefore, they can only be used as references and for background information. Bridge engineers should always apply the ASHTO code for their design. So just like what I've said, whenever we design highway bridge structures, we must always refer to the ASHTO code because it is the code that specializes with the design of horizontal structures, especially highway and bridges. So the different design manuals, the different material related design codes that we have specified here on this discussion deal mostly with building structural design. Most of the material related design codes that we have enumerated here deal with uh, vertical structures, deal with building structural design. So therefore, although we must still refer to them, but we just have to refer them for background information. So we must just use them as a reference and for background information only. So meaning we have to mainly depend on the AASHTO code whenever we design highway and bridge structures. So the different design manuals that we have enumerated here must just be used as reference and for background information only. AASHTO code will still be the governing code that must be used in the design of highway and bridge structures because again it specializes on horizontal structures while the different manuals or codes that we have specified specializes on vertical structures or building structural design.